what does the word pro actually mean? If you look at the industry standard, it's pretty simple. It signals top-tier performance, it means updated specs, advanced tools for people who are using this device with said pro spec for a living. And most importantly, it means premium reliability that justifies the premium price tag. But when I look at my setup, which is an iPhone 17 Pro Max, an M4 iPad Pro with 16 gigs of RAM, terabyte of storage, combined with Final Cut Pro 3 using Final Cut camera on the iPhone, that definition just sort of starts to completely fall apart. Lately, this $2,000 setup, Pro setup, has been the buggiest, most frustrating experience of my tech life. But the point of it all was to be able to use Final Cut Pro camera on the iPhone paired with Final Cut Pro 3 on iPad, and to have my media automatically dumped into my project media area. So making it easier to get started with the editing process. Instead, I've spent so much more time troubleshooting than I have actually editing videos. I've had 4 recurring buggy issues with this Pro setup. Now I'm recording 4K 30 H.265. My iPhone has 125 gigs free of storage. My iPad has over 800. But on multiple occasions, I've gotten the Final Cut camera telling me the error message saying that my device storage is full. I have to go in and delete every video out of the media area and then delete them from the files to get rid of them for I don't know why, for no good reason when I have more than 100 gigs of free storage on the device. This has happened multiple times. I'm recording and it just runs out of storage space, or it thinks that it has. Bug number 2 is blading crashes. So I have a clip in the timeline, I use the blade to cut the clip, and it crashes immediately. This has happened on every single project. I've done 7 projects. This has happened every time. And on one, it happened 11 times. I had 11 separate crashes. This is a basic fundamental editing process, and it makes this entire software feel like you're using a beta or worse. The third bug is around media imports. Again, I mentioned that the point of this is to have my media easier to access by recording with Final Cut camera. However, I still have media issues where I get error messages around the inability to import from Final Cut camera. I also had an export issue where I had completely finished editing the video and went to export it, and I'll throw it up on the screen here so you can see this one where it says that I'm using preview media. Well, I was unable to, re-import this video, trying to figure out which one, has the issue, which clip has the issue. It's just a lot of errors, and it's very frustrating. So I actually exported the video anyway and watched it, and it's absolutely perfect. So again, some kind of a random bug that's in there. Who knows? It's really just a workflow killer, and it feels like I've spent a lot of time trying to diagnose what was happening or what was going wrong. Number 4 is the aggressive memory management of the iPad Pro. Now, I had some idea that this kind of thing could be an issue, but it feels frustrating that you can't do basic things like keep Final Cut Pro running while going to photos and spending a few minutes looking for some B-roll or something like that, and you come back and it's closed out. If you get up and walk away from your iPad, heaven forbid let it time out, of course it's closed the app. And so there should be a way with these Pro apps to keep them in memory running, to keep them open, so you're not having to constantly reopen, go back into the edit to restart again. Again, it's a real workflow killer and is definitely not Pro. I mean, we've got 16 gigs of RAM in this particular device that I'm using. And we know that the M4 chip is plenty powerful. It's really insulting to the hardware for it to be treated like this. You know, there's a lot of hype out there about replacing your laptop with an iPad or an iPad Pro. And then really when you dig in specifically about the Pro Tools and the Apple Studio and all that that's launched, you know, targeted at professionals, I think that you need to be very careful. You know, you can spend as much on an iPad and the keyboard and the pencil as you would on a fully spec'd, very nice MacBook Pro. And you will get just a fraction of the reliability at this point. This isn't just a critique, but it's a cautionary tale for your wallet and your sanity. That's about it for this video. Has anybody else gone through this saga like I have? Anybody else editing in Final Cut Pro with an iPad? Let me know your experience if you have. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next one.